Hi everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. Hope you are doing well. Starting off this video with my nails already pre-prepared with their background colors. And we are sticking with the Sanrio Hello Kitty family, but we're moving on to Batdz Maru, which as I mentioned in my last video where I did Little Twin Stars, Hello Kitty and Sanrio, while they're definitely my generation. It's not something I ever really grew up with personally with the toys and everything, but they're really popular nail art, so I figured I would continue on with it, and I love doing nail art, so why not? They're cute characters and I'm becoming more and more familiar with them and having fun with them, so I'm gonna keep on doing a few of them, so long as you all want to see them. So we're going to continue on with it now. Excuse me. So this is going to be a full nail with Batdz. He's a penguin so far as I can tell, and he's not quite a happy penguin. He's a little surly. I'm looking at my reference photo now, and my original goal was to have him take up the whole nail, but I feel like I have to put in his outline somewhat, so I'm going to go in with some white and just put in his feathering at the top as best as I can. I don't want to, make messy lines now that I've already done the background, but I could always go in and clean it up. But they're just basically pointy little feathers at the top. I assume they're feathers. And I'm just going to try to replicate them as best as possible. All right, so we've got the 4 feathers at the top, and now I'm going to bring it around to do the sides of his face. I've got a hair coming out of my brush, so I'm going to pull that off. I'm going to try not to mess up because Soleil, my darling eldest cat, is knocking through my legs right now, trying to get my attention. It's only when I'm recording, when she hears my voice, that she comes and tries to get my attention. If I'm in here by myself just watching videos while I do nail art, she leaves me alone. But as soon as I start talking, I don't know if she feels like I'm talking to her or what's going on, but all of a sudden she wants my attention. So we've got his arms coming out to the side. And then his body. Just little triangles on the side to denote the negative space. And then his underside. I won't be able to get his feet on, but that's okay. But the white part of his belly comes up just underneath where his arms are. And then down on one side. I'm going to rotate the nail and mirror it on the other side. I'm using gel paint from Glam. Right now I'm using white. The background color is Perfect Black from Glam, regular polish, or gel polish I should say. And now I'm going to take my little baby blender and I'm going to fill in the white part, and put it in the lamp for a cure. Actually, I may wait and do his eyes first. I'm going to be doing 2 versions of Batdz. This one, where it's just his pouty face, his exasperatedness. I figured it would be a very nice drawing to do for Valentine's Day, kind of an anti-Valentine's Day nail, because the accent nails are going to have hearts and X's and O's, and there's an alligator that's part of the series. I guess he's one of his friends, and I'm going to have him on one of the nails. Cleanup brush to just clean up those lines and make them as neat as possible. All right, so I'm just noticing I made this part a little bit too pointy, so I'm going to round it out. All right, that's pretty good. All right, so his eyes, I'm going to draw a straight line across and then erase the center part, just so that I can get the spacing right. And then it comes down from this. I try to use reference points as much as possible, that it's a little bit past the points on the middle feather. Just a semicircle. And then for the other one, it's just past the other, like coming, if this point is the midway point, it's just a little bit to the right for the right eye and a little bit to the left for the left eye. And then it's not perfectly straight on the side. So I'm just going to correct that. Anchor our hearts and give us a fresh start. Wilderness. And then I'm going to erase the center part of the eyes. There was no unibrow in this rendering. So then we can just go in, trying to see, I think I made them a little bit long. I'm trying to really, in these designs, I'm trying to really focus and make sure they're as accurate as possible. Look for those reference points of where lines begin and end, because I find even the smallest inaccuracy, especially when it comes to facial features, will make something look really off, even if it's just a little bit, such a minute difference from the actual reference. It's noticeable. It makes it look just slightly wrong. All right, so I'm going to go in and fill in the eyes, and then I'm going to go ahead and cure it. All right, so I've gone and done a second coat of the white, but I haven't cured it yet because I want to go in with, actually it's yellow. I took out the orange, but it's yellow for his beak. And I think I'm going to be able to get in a touch of his feet. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to give this a little stir. So his beak has a separation in it between the top and the bottom. So it's a triangle facing upward. Kind of. More like a boomerang. And then the bottom part is flat. With an upturn, kind of like a mountain. So that we can be together. Everything that has been don't matter no more. We've burned it. All those whirlwinds can't touch. And it's slightly crooked, it's not straight across. And then his feet are just easy. I don't even know what to call them. Why do I keep getting these hairs in the brush? Is it the bristles coming out? So wider at the bottom, narrower at the top, kind of rounded. And then same on the other side. See if I can cut out a little piece here because it's outlined. There. All right, so to finish off this nail, we're just going to take a dotting tool and we're going to put in his eyes, which are half moons. They're at the top of, his eyes are kind of hooded. So his eyeballs are really just dots at the top. Because he's kind of rolling his eyes. So then we're going to flatten it out again. Then I want to take my liner brush and just make sure that they're not rounded at the top because they really just go straight up. I think I'm going to use a smaller brush. I think I want to fix the shape of his eye because it kind of dips down. And this is me messing things up. I'm gonna end up top coating over it again with matte, so it shouldn't really show any problems or inconsistencies with the tonality between the different blacks. We're so blessed to have you anchor our hearts and give us a fresh start. All right, before I mess it up anymore, I'm going to go ahead and cure this and then matte top coat it, and then this nail will be finished. All right, so we finished number 1. We're going to put him off to the side so that I can move on to the second nail. And the second nail is going to be another Batdz Maru, but it's going to be one where he's pulling a face. So he's going to be a little bit more detailed, basically the same character though, and we're going to start off similarly, but with a peachy, pinky background. So I'm using my shading gel from Nails by Dev to do his outline, and I'm going to start off the same way. So we've got his spiky feathers at the top. Going around into his face. And then I'm just going to outline where his hand is because it's blocking the side of his face on both sides. Because he's kind of pulling his mouth and sticking out his tongue. So I'm going to draw in the outline of his mouth, which is elongated for this one because, as I said, he's pulling it. And then you've got the separation between his top beak and lower beak. And then his tongue is coming out from the center. So I'm going to outline the white of his belly. And then that's basically going to be the entire design. Everything else will be black except where his eyes are. So let's see about putting it in his eyes, which once again are hooded. It comes down to just above his top beak. And then on the other side as well. It comes down actually a little bit farther. And goes up at a slant. So let's clean up our lines because the inside's going to be filled in with white. It's going to be a split in the tongue. His tongue doesn't look wide enough. It looks too long and not wide enough. I think that's better. All right, I'm going to give this a cure and then we're going to start filling in.
Dance for me, easy tiger, easy, let your hair down. Come closer, let me see.
So since we're using a lot of black, we want to make sure that we're putting it in as thin as possible with the layers. So we don't want to have improperly cured gel. We want it to really be as smooth as possible. I'm going to end up going back in with either gray or white to delineate his hands. But we'll do that at the end when we reline. So if you're enjoying this video, and I hope you are, I would love it if you could please hit that like and subscribe button, and then go ahead and hit that bell so that you always know when new videos are available. I post at the moment 3 days a week, Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I try to bring a little bit of everything. I don't really have any one theme that I stick to in terms of whether I'm doing dip or gel or acrylic. Basically, whatever I'm in the mood to do, that's what I do. And I hope you enjoy the videos. As always, if you have questions or suggestions for upcoming content, please post it down in the description box below. And all the information for the products I use will be in the description box below. All right, I'm going to give him a cure and go in with a second layer of black before going in with the white. All right, so I've gone and done 2 coats of all the colors, and now it's time to finish with reinforcing the outline and putting in his eyes. So actually I'm noticing now that his bottom lip is a little larger than it should be, so I'm going to go in and fix that just by blotting out some of the yellow. All right, I think that's pretty good. So, as I said, going to reinforce the outlines in specific areas like in between his upper and lower beak. Going to re-outline the portion of his mouth that overlaps, or his tongue rather, that overlaps his lower beak. And then around the top of his belly. And this is the point in which you can correct any mistakes. If things are larger or misshapen, you can go and fix that. And now putting back in the line in the middle of his tongue. And then putting in the dots of his eyes. So you've got, actually I'm going to use a smaller dotting tool. So you've got one eyeball right there. And you've got one up at the top because he's a little cray-cray. I'm actually going to bring that down and make his eye a little bit more hooded. And I think that's pretty perfect. So I'm going to cure that. I'm going to matte top coat it once again. Just making that a little bit larger. And then that's going to complete this nail. Okay, so for the next nail, we're doing Sanrio Pochi. That is, it disappeared. Batdz's friend, he's an alligator or a crocodile, I'm not sure which. It's actually a pretty simple design, but I wasn't really sure what character I wanted on what nail, and I wanted the nails painted before I started the video. And then I decided to use the Batdz that I just did. I decided to put him on the beige nail. So Pochi is going to have to go on the black nail because the other nail is red and I don't want a green alligator on a red background. So yeah, I'm going to have to do his design in white and then go over it in green so that it really pops. So I'm going to take my liner brush, and he's a pretty simple design. He's got two eyes on top of his head, just like so. And then coming down, you've got his mouth. Curving around to go up towards his head. I'm drawing the lines pretty thick because it doesn't really matter for this purpose. It's going to get re-outlined. Maybe. Yeah, it's going to get re-outlined because I had to define his body. And then you've got his arms. Probably not going to be able to fit in his tail, but that's fine. And then his legs, because in this one he's standing upright. And his legs kind of mirror his eyes. We've got M's followed by a W. And then this is going to come up like it goes down on the right-hand side. Just like so. So that's the basics of the area that we're going to fill in. He does have another M on top in the middle of his face to define his nostrils, his snout. But we'll worry that when we're going in and adding in lines at the end. So I'm just going to take my brush. I think this time I'm going to use, I have other brushes that are probably better served for this. If I can find a smaller one. Let's see here. And we're just going to fill in the area. So I've got this color that I created that's pretty close to the color of Pochi. I mixed a few different colors from Glam. Started off with Lost in the Woods, added a little bit of New Quest, and then a little bit of Besamé to get this kind of bluish tealy green. And actually I could probably add a little bit more of Besamé. And I'm just going to use it to go over the white.
When you're with me, let every wave gently kiss away some of the hardness from those brief yet gloomy days.
All right, so that's one coat. I'm going to go ahead, cure it, and put on a second coat, and we're going to go from there. So now that we've got our green alligator, I'm going to go in and outline him so that he has a shape other than a blob. So just going in with some black and retracing those lines that I made earlier. So we've got the bottom part of his face, coming over onto his snout, which then goes up at a sharp curve on the other side of his face. And then we've got the M for his snout. Trying to see, it does actually fall in line with the bottom point of his eyes. So I'm going to have to correct that slightly. Just dabbing it with some alcohol. It is removing some pigment, but we can go back in and fix that afterwards. So seeing as how the bottom point of his eye is right there, we're going to come straight down and do the bottom point of the snout right there. And go back up into one hump of the M. And then do the other side, coming down into his bill. Just going back and forth, dragging pigment to connect it. So this area is a little wide, so I'm going to break it out and then fill in this area with black.
Time flies, yet there's butterflies
So now we're going to go in and we're going to do the holes in his snout, which are just 2 dots. And instead of doing his eyes in black, I want to give him 2 little heart-shaped eyes because Batdz is his friend and he loves him. I need to have some other color on this nail other than just the green and the black. First, I want to take away that mark, even though it'll be hidden later. And then I'm actually going to go in and put a little bit of green over there for his tail, which I forgot. See if we can get a little bit in here.
Then I'll play something really slow and ask you to dance with me.
All right, so for his eyes, like I said, we're going to do 2 little hearts. So I'm going to do 2 dots next to each other over here, 2 dots next to each other over here, and then I'm going to use my little liner brush to pull it down into a point to create the hearts.
You make me wanna live this life to the fullest, to the fullest.
And then I want to do another one above his head just to add a little bit of something to the negative space. But I'm going to go a little bit larger. And then connect it just the same.
Head down, come closer, let me see all your million faces and all your million mistakes.
All right, so I'm going to give this a cure. And then I may touch up and add a little bit more green into the center of his body before I go ahead and give it a matte top coat. All right, so the final nails are actually going to be really easy. The first nail is going to be X's and O's on top of a black background. I'm trying to decide if I want to do red or white. I'm thinking maybe I want to do white. Ooh, hello. And then maybe the peach on the red nail. The red nail is going to have hearts. So I'm going to be using my dotting tool for the X's and O's because they're a little bit more, not freestyle, but a little bit less perfect. So just like that. And I'm going to try to evenly space them. So I'm going to do one on the top and one on the bottom. One in the center. And then I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do one more X before I go into the O's on each side.
We've earned it. All those whirlwinds can't touch us no more. We've earned it. Everything that has been don't matter no more.
I think that may be too many because if I want to do another row, it's going to take up a lot of space. I need a wipe.
Forget all the worries
I'm going to cure this, and then I may want to go over it with the shadow gel to mute it out a bit, make it a little bit more gray so it's not so stark. All right, so I'm liking how this looked. I put the gel on and now I'm just pulling it off with the brush. So that gives it a little bit more of a, pushes it back into the background a little bit so that it doesn't stand out so much among the other nails. So I'm going to give this a cure and then matte top coat it, and then we're going to move on to the final nail, which is hearts. So I'm going to take my palette and I'm going to take my peachy gel, which is organic eggshell. Now this is a regular polish, it's not a gel, a paint. So it's going to be a little bit more runny and a little bit more difficult to work with. So I'm going to be probably curing in between a few of the hearts because it'll start to lose its shape and bloat a bit. So similar to the other nail, I'm just going to do it up and down the nail. I'm going to start with my dots right next to each other, spacing them evenly apart. And then I'm going to go in with my liner brush and pull them down into a point to create that heart.
Anchor our hearts and give us a fresh start. Wilderness, we've come for you. Wilderness,
All right, so they're all roughly the same size, which is good. I'm just going to round out the bottom right on this heart and a little bit on this one also. We're going to give that a cure and then we'll fill in the rest of the hearts. So for the rest of the hearts, I want them going in the opposite direction from the current ones. And I think I'm going to do them slightly smaller, just so that I can get them all along the right hand side, well, the left and the right hand side, without cutting them off. And it'll add a little bit more interest in having them different sizes. I can't speak.
Echoes from the other night, gossip about our delight. What if we would join our forces? What a bliss. You make me understand this place.
I think I want to add 2 more on either side at the top.
Life to the fullest, to the fullest. I will read.
All right, so that's going to finish this video. We've got Batdz Maru, we've got Pochi, we've got our X's and O's for love, hugs and kisses, and our hearts because it's Valentine's Day, even though for Batdz it might be an anti-Valentine's Day. For Pochi, I assure you it is very much happy Valentine's. So I hope you liked this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments or questions as to the products or the techniques that I used in this video, please let me know down below. If there are any other characters, Sanrio or otherwise, that you would like to see me do, please let me know. All the information for the products I used will be in the description box. And once again, please hit that like and subscribe button and leave me a comment if you wish to do so. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.